Well, hey guys, good evening. It is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. Great to be with you on Inspirations for Your Life. It is Friday the 13th and 2026. And I know a lot of you are saying, oh my gosh, John, you're doing a show. Of course I am. So Friday the 13th is just a day and it doesn't mean anything. I know it's meant a lot in movies, but really what means more is what you put or assign to it. So if you say today's going to be a good day, it's going to be a great day. If you say today's going to be a bad day because it's Friday the 13th, well, then it's going to be a bad day. So we create our reality. Okay. That's pretty much how it works. All right. I won't get into that too much. If you guys are here for the first time, I want to say welcome and thank you for joining me. If you're coming back, I want to say welcome back. Thanks so much for being here. If you have not checked out believemeachieve.com, what are you waiting for? Go check that out. That is after the show, not now. And you can get my short form, my long form, and all other kinds of great content. Just love to help you guys become better versions of yourself. So that's really good, guys. And if you're coming back, I want to say welcome back. Thank you so much for coming back to the show and making this content be part of your daily life. I think that's a really important thing, guys, when we can choose to do that. All right, guys. So let's kick this show off. Oh, by the way, if you're thirsty or hungry, feel free to go grab that and come on back to the show. This is Inspirations for Your Life. This is the Series 5. We're in our 5th year. We've been on the air over 4 years now. And yeah, a lot of great stuff happening here. And this whole week is about stepping into momentum, right? That's actually what today's show is about, stepping into momentum. And it's great to have you. So, I'm John C. Morley. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm a marketing specialist, video producer, podcast host, coach, keynote speaker, graduate student, and a passionate lifelong learner. And the master weekly theme that we're saying goodbye to after this evening is From Fear to Forward, choosing light, clarity, and momentum. Yes, guys. Yes, yes, yes. And today's episode is all about stepping into momentum, ending the week with movement, building confidence through action, and choosing progress over delay. Let's get into some amazing points. Number one, momentum begins when you decide to make that decision and commit to it. Decide once, then heavy lift. Have the answer. Don't keep changing your mind. You're probably right. You don't want to test. Most people that don't do well on a test actually have had the right answer, but they second guess themselves so many times and they change the answer. Don't change the answer. My teacher always would say that, John, when you got the answer down, 90% time, your first instinct is probably right. Number two, why action clarifies direction. Clarity shows up after you move, not before. And I know that can sound hard for some people or it can sound scary for some people. It's not meant to, but we're about being intentional beings, aren't we? So if we're not intentional, then I think that can cause problems in our life and other people's lives. All right, that's a very important thing to understand. Does that make sense? And I know a lot of you are saying, John, this is crazy. But I'll tell you that it's not something that you just change overnight or at the beat. Okay. And this beat comes from, your inner core. Number three, guys, ending the week with movement, finish in motion. So next week starts even stronger than this week did. This week was probably a great week, but a lot of our week comes from who we choose to be, who we choose to show up as. That's right. Who we show up as, not who we are maybe at the moment, but who are we actually being in life? That's an important thing. Number four, how momentum builds confidence. Each step completed becomes proof you can do it, right? That you can do more. I think sometimes we psych ourselves out, but we're actually pretty smart and we're pretty intelligent. And so if we trust that, there's a lot that can go on. All right. A lot that can happen. So if we can just take the moment, if we can pay attention to our surroundings, and we can step into momentum, because when we stop doing something, well, we can either basically stop, we can drift backward, or we could stay the same. Most times, though, we drift backward because we're not practicing over and over again, like with exercises, etc. So we want to keep momentum going. Number 4, how momentum builds confidence. Each step completed becomes proof you can do more in your life. Number 5, why finishing matters. Completion creates power and reduces stress. Yes, when we complete something, it's like we can check that off our list. Yep, we got that done. But I know how some of you feel. You're like saying, oh my gosh, like, how can I ever get this done? And you can get it done. It's just the voice in your head's like, you're not going to get it done, but trust me, you are really going to get it done. All right. That's the most important thing I want to tell you. Number 6, closing loops creates energy. Unfinished tasks drain you. Closed loops fuel you. A closed loop is a great way to get the energy back into your body. All right. When we have open loops, think of it like interference, right? Think of it like TV or even coax cable TV, not the fiber or anything like that. And when the signal is leaking, then you don't get good picture. And you also could have distortion, and it could have interference with other types of technologies as well as other people's reception. So these are important things to think about. Number 7, guys, why momentum thrives on simplicity. Simple plans move faster than perfect ones. When something's simple, we can actually move pretty quickly in our lives. But being simple doesn't mean that it's not powerful. I know a lot of people say, oh, John, it's too simple. It'll never work. You know, it's the simple things that actually do work. If that doesn't blow you out of the water, I don't know what will. Number 8, action over analysis. Too much thinking slows the very progress you want to make. We call this analysis paralysis, right? When you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, right? Number 9, how progress creates motivation. Motivation is often the reward of starting. And when you get going, it's like, oh my gosh, look what I've done. Look how I've changed. Now, it might not be something that other people see, but that's okay. It's an important thing to understand. And when you understand that, it can make you change, like, your perception. And when your perception change, a lot happens. A lot happens. So why movement beats waiting? Number 10, waiting feeds doubt. Movement feeds belief. That's important, guys. Waiting has its own quality. You know, you might have heard the phrase, you know, you have to strike while the iron's hot, and timing. But truth is, you can strike to get the iron hot. It's our perception that's creating our ultimate reality. Number 11, guys, momentum, momentum, momentum. Momentum through follow through. Follow through, guys. Follow through. That's an important thing that I think a lot of people don't realize. But it's important to understand it. Okay, a very important to understand that. And so we know that momentum through follow through turns intention into pure reality. Intention turns things into reality, not the guesswork, not the snapping your fingers, not the wishing. Intention. Number 12, why decisive action reduces stress. Decide, act, and the tension will just release, guys. But maybe people around you are saying, oh, John, that's not possible. I'm here to tell you it is possible. But many people never get there because they don't believe in themselves. They don't believe in themselves. Pretty important. Number 13, turning intention into execution. Execution is where goals become real. All right? This isn't play. It's not pretend. Where the goals become real, that's execution. Number 14, how momentum rewires identity. When you move consistently, you become a mover. And your body doesn't like to slow down. Your body wants to move every day, day in and day out, okay? That's a very, very important thing to understand. And maybe you're saying to me, hey, This is something that I don't quite get. Okay. But I'm here to tell you that momentum, the movement, just you being in motion, going towards something is one of the greatest things you can do. If you want to do something in life, take consistent, intentional action daily. You don't have to do a million things every day. You have to do a set amount of things. If it's 5 things or 3 things, do 3 more things every day. But always keep doing them. Don't ever stop. Don't take a break from that. Number 15, why done beats perfect, right? Done creates results. Perfect creates delay. And that's something that a lot of people wrestle with. Oh, it's got to be perfect before we release it. Well, it needs to be good, but it doesn't have to be perfect. We can always fix it. And then the only time that doesn't apply is when we come to security. I was talking about this on another show earlier about artificial intelligence and the fact that a lot of companies just push out this AI crap in toys, and they have not tested it properly. And because they haven't, people's identity, people's safety, and privacy can be compromised. Number 16, guys, momentum from small wins. Small wins stack into unstoppable energy every single day. Not just today, not just tomorrow, but every single day of your life. This is what happens. And some people call it magic. I get that, but it's not magic. It's intention marrying with action. IA equals success, my formula. IA equals success. Another one I like to use is money naturally flows to me through my actions. See, when you put a belief in your mind and you have that belief and your subconscious has taken a hold of that belief, because I've learned this, you could have millions of affirmations, okay? But the affirmations do absolutely squat because they don't create a feeling in you. They just create noise in your brain. That's an important one, guys, really important. Why? Number 17, consistency fuels momentum. Consistency keeps momentum alive when feelings change, guys. When feelings change. And our feelings can change all the time, okay? They can change all the time. That's an important thing that a lot of people, like, they just don't get, what that is. They don't get what it is or why it is. The why is something a lot of people just don't understand. And they don't understand it because they're getting tripped up, because they're creating an illusion in their mind, an illusion that really is misleading them, one that's taking them from where they could be, right? Where they could be, not to where they are right now. And the only reason they're not getting forward or moving past is one reason. It's belief. So if we change our subconscious mind, everything else follows. But I want to tell you that is not a flip of the switch. It is not a flip of the switch, guys. It definitely is not a flip of the switch. And I mean that, because a flip of the switch would say that, hey, if I did this, something's going to change now. It takes a little bit of time. I'm not going to tell you it takes forever, but it takes a little bit of time for you to move from here you are to somewhere else. Okay? That's an important point. Knowing where you are and knowing where you are going, right? In order to get somewhere, you have to know where you are now, and you have to know where you want to go. And then you just go, right? You have to know 2 things. Where am I right now for directions, and where am I trying to go? Anytime you put GPS in the car, it knows where you are right now. But a lot of times, if you're trying to put a map in online like Google, you have to tell it where you're coming from, and 2, unless you've allowed it to see your geolocation. Number 18, ending the week strong. A strong finish becomes your next starting line. Okay? Doesn't necessarily mean you've reached success. It's just the next point. Think of it like levels on a video board, or maybe you play Pac-Man or you played other video games. We call them boards or levels. Once we clear a board, I remember the first time I learned about boards and levels, it was Donkey Kong. Many of you probably don't even know Donkey Kong, which is okay. Does anybody here know how many levels Donkey Kong has? Does anybody know how many levels? There are a lot. Donkey Kong Bonanza has a total of 21 levels, which includes 7 core sublayers and 3 major branching points and 1 final stage. Donkey Kong games like Mario versus Donkey Kong featured 130 levels across 8 worlds. That's a lot. So when you clear a board, it's like, you've achieved certain mastery in your life, right? And that mastery is something that I think a lot of people, they just miss what that mastery is. They miss what that mastery is. That make sense? Maybe you're confused. And maybe you're saying to me, I don't know why this is a certain way, but I'm telling you something right now. You can change immediately. You don't need to wait a million years for it to happen. A lot of people think you do. You don't need to do that. You do not need to do that. And if you can realize that a belief comes from you, comes from your inner side, okay, then you can change things. If you can do that. But a lot of people get stuck in the past. They get stuck in what they should be, right? Instead of where they are right now. Momentum builds belief, and belief grows when you see yourself follow through, as I said, number 19. Number 20, why action creates clarity. Action clears the fog and reveals the next step, the next board. Just like, on Donkey Kong or Pac-Man, when you've eaten all the dots, or you've gotten through all the way to the top, right? You have cleared the board. You've cleared the level. Number 21, moving despite doubt. See, doubt doesn't stop you. It just delays you. And depending on what kind of doubt you have, it can really drain you. That doesn't mean you can't start again, but it takes time, right? That's important to understand. Very, very important for all of you to understand. And I hope that a lot of you will understand that point. And that point is something that many people, they just don't get. All right? And the reason they don't get it is because they're stuck behind. They're stuck behind. And being stuck behind means that you just don't have a clear path to where you could go. So a lot of times we see a roadway, right? And if the roadway is blocked, do you suddenly turn around and say, oh, I can't get there? No. Use your car to reroute, or you say, wait a minute, I know this area, I know this neighborhood, I'm going to turn down the street and go this way. I think too many times when we see a roadblock, people see that as a way to say, all right, I'm stopping. It should just mean I'm regrouping and going a different way. Moving despite doubt. Doubt doesn't stop you. As I said, it delays you. So let's be smart when we get doubt. Let's not let it disarm us. Number 22. Momentum as discipline. Momentum is built, not wished for, guys. It's not wished for. All right. And I think that's a very important thing that a lot of people here don't get, is that it's important to understand what this all means, right? Momentum is built. It's not wished for. And number 23, guys. Why motion quiets fear? You see, fear gets quieter when your feet keep moving, and fear is just false evidence appearing real. But it gets quieter. It becomes more transparent, it becomes more part of our day when that happens. Fear gets quieter when your feet keep moving. That's important. That. Number 24, building forward energy. Every forward step creates more forward energy. Every step, not just the big step, even the half steps that you take when you don't fully plan. Every step, guys, brings you energy. Every step, not just the full steps. Of course, we want the full steps, but every step brings us energy. Number 25, guys. Why momentum attracts opportunity. Opportunity follows movement, not hesitation. And that's a very important thing to think about, that it's about that concept. It's about the fact that we can make this change. We can make this bridge. Okay. But it doesn't happen, just because we see one thing out there. That doesn't mean that we can suddenly just go to point B if we don't understand something. Right? It doesn't mean that. It means that people have to keep pushing forward. Not just one day forward. I mean every day forward, right? What was John D. Rockefeller's major saying? He said, "Own nothing, control everything." And I think in this world, control has gotten a little bit of let's say, a cross meaning. One meaning is that it gives you power. Another problem with control is some people lack the accountability and the credibility to have control. People think just because you have control, you make money. It's possible, but you also can be in control and you also could lose money. Right? Number 26, guys. Ending cycles, starting flow, close what's open so flow can begin. In order for flow to go through, we have to close one side of the valve so the other side can open. Two sides of the cock valve can't be open at one time. You've probably seen these valves where you take the valve, if it's in the center, they're both closed. If I push it to the left, then the right side opens. I push it to the right, then the left side opens, vice versa. Those are interesting concepts. But when we compare our life or our pathway to water, it can give us a lot of interesting insights. Flow, restriction, level of flow, not just, a high flow could be a low flow, right? Momentum without pressure, move gently, but keep it moving. We don't want to put a lot of pressure there, 27. We want to keep it going consistently with the same flow, same energy. Number 28, guys, how finishing builds confidence. Finishing proves you can trust yourself. It really does. And when we think about how it can build yourself, that's important to know. It's very important to know. When we think about that piece, we know that we've got a lot of ability. We know that our insights, although similar, change each day. And sometimes they change gradually. But after a few weeks or a few months, we're like, wow, where did that come from? Well, it was changing all the time. It's just you weren't really aware of the change that was happening. I think that's probably the best way to say that. So finishing builds confidence, and finishing proves you can trust yourself. So please finish. Number 28. Number 29, momentum through focus. Focus turns scattered effort into fast progress. Momentum is a key of success. I'm not just saying this to you. How many times have I told you that you do not have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great? That's powerful stuff, guys. Really, really powerful stuff. Number 30, guys, choosing movement over delay. Choose movement today, and momentum chooses you tomorrow. Movement today, momentum happens tomorrow. So just take movement consistently today, and it will propel you tomorrow. That's a very priceless thing, guys. As this week comes to a close, choose one thing to complete. Choose one loop. Take one action in your life. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the key. That's how momentum starts. That's how it gets its inertia. That's how it gets its momentum, right? That's how it starts. That's how it goes through. We choose one thing. This is how fear loses its grip on us and everything it holds. I said when you disassociate yourself from fear, it goes away. Whatever you associate yourself to, it comes closer to you. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to invite you to please now check out believemeachieve.com for more, of course, of my inspiring, amazing creations, which are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can get my short form, my long form, so much more. And you can get it from your computer and even your smart device. I encourage you, ladies and gentlemen, that are either watching or just listening, make the choice. Choose movement. Choose movement. Keep moving forward. Fear to forward. Choose movement. Choose movement. Keep moving forward. Fear to forward. Choose movement. Choose movement. Keep moving from fear to forward. And your life will suddenly take on a new dynamic. You'll gain a new perspective of who you are, of what you're doing. Maybe even change or recognize, validate, or realize a core purpose is right or wrong for you. That's key, guys. I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. Be sure to check out believemeachieve.com for more, of course, of my amazing, inspiring creations. And guys, I'm going to catch you real soon. Be well, everyone.